What's up guys and welcome back. My name is Jake Towell and this is my art series where I share with you guys some pieces throughout my art career, and today we have a very unique piece. I would describe my art as unique, and amongst all my art pieces I would consider this one probably not my favorite but certainly unique amongst my art. I'm pretty hyped to have gotten to this piece, really excited to share it with you guys. So today I'm presenting to you Super Electro Soldier. Conceptually and stylistically, this one really pops amongst my portfolio. Again, I wouldn't say it's my favorite or one I would put at the top of my portfolio, but certainly one that I do really enjoy for multiple reasons, and we'll get to those reasons in the fully rendered image, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But overall, it's a very visually fun piece and a lot of really cool small details within it. So without further ado, let's get right into the sketch phase. The sketch phase is very solid here. This is not a composition that I have extremely filled. Usually the compositions I have every inch of the canvas filled. You can see a little bit of sketch marks that aren't fully thought out. This one, there's almost no change to the line work to the fully render, and I think that's because there's a lot of really jagged and sharp shapes in this, and I wanted to make sure everything laid out and fit nicely. I'm sure there is a little bit of differences between the sketch phase and the line work, but it's virtually impossible to tell at first glance. Overall, sketch phase super solid, and I think mapping it out with the jagged edges was really a smart idea, and it came out great. So let's check out how that line work came out. Super clean line work here. Again, wanted to make sure all the jagged edges fit in the composition nicely because there is so many and there's so many open areas. I wanted to make sure that the illustration was still readable, and honestly, I've said this before in other line work phases, I like the line work way more than the fully render. I think in and of itself this line work could be a piece, and I've said it before on this channel, as an artist the coloring part is my least favorite, which objectively looking in, the coloring part is what makes my art pop the most and what gives it life, but I actually enjoy the line work phase the most. That being said, I really love this line work here. Super clean, little to no tangents at all. Everything fits really nicely in the composition, and again, at this point in my career I've really locked down my style and it just looks really finished. If you were confused about this piece, worry not. We are getting into the fully rendered image where I will talk about all the details, the concept, and what I was thinking creating this piece. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we have Super Electro Soldier. Conceptually, I wanted to create a military soldier. I don't know if I was reading World War II books or not at this point, I don't know, but I wanted to create a soldier, but I didn't want him to be basic and I didn't want to draw a person. If you've been around this channel for a while and seen my art, drawing people isn't my favorite thing to do. So I wanted to encapsulate this idea in a very unique way. So this Super Electro Soldier is actually a soldier that is made out of electricity. You can see there's two giant black portals with white outlines in the top right and the bottom left of the composition where his electro arms are coming out of. His left arm here has a really cool pink badge with stars, a little blue badge there as well, and that hand, look at those fingers, those really jagged fingers, but you can still tell it's a hand wrapping around a hilt, and what he's holding on to here is this really cool U-shaped crooked blade, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like if you look at it from this angle, you're like, how is this even a blade? But I just think it conceptually and stylistically looks really cool. It has a really cool hilt here, a gray spiked hilt top, and check out this curved blade, a jagged start with a really smooth curve all the way to that tip there, coated in blood from this soldier's victims. And on the back of the hilt there's a little ring hooking onto the soldier's mouth there. Coming out of the other portal is his right hand. You can see this like makeshift futuristic soldier flag badge on his arm, another pink little badge there, and in his right arm we have another really cool electro fingers wrapped around this golden gun, and it's got that extended drop clip with sharp edges for stabbing, tons of ammo, and the stylistic choices of this gun look really dope. I think I also really wanted to hone in on the weaponry in this one too. I used to draw a lot of weapons as a kid from my dad's old World War books, so I think I was really pulling from that in my mind, and I created this really cool looking golden gun here. Blue trigger, blue sight, blue safety, and this really cool looking bayonet at the bottom of the barrel, which you wouldn't really see on a pistol anyways. And this very cartoon-esque wide barrel at the end here. You can see he's tracked all his kills on this weapon as well. And I think these two weapons intertwining there at the bottom of the composition just look really, really sick. Moving on to his face, I think this is exactly where I started in this illustration. I'm not sure. If you saw it in the sketch phase, you'll see where I started. I'm pretty sure it's in the face. Really cool looking face here. A little bit different than the Jake Towel stylistic mouth, as it's in this really jagged, sharp shape. But overall, I actually really love it. I think it looks hilarious. And if you were just to take the face out of the composition, it would make for a really cool design for a face, or maybe even a profile picture. And honestly, I think I made his face fit the rest of the composition in jagged hands and jagged arms really, really nicely all together. Moving up to the last part of this composition, and probably one of my favorites, is his army helmet. And there's a lot of things within this army helmet. Lots of blood, of course. You can see he took a shot from a bullet at the top of his helmet here, and he's bleeding out. We have a band wrapped around the helmet here. He's got a couple utensils in there. We have a bullet, we have a shotgun cartridge, we have a sharper bullet, could be a pencil, who knows, pack of cigs, and we have some cards here with some weird hieroglyphs. Maybe it's a currency, and this really interesting looking sun face on the front of his helmet. I'm not sure where I got this concept from, but I actually really like it, and I think it brings it all together because there's a lot of similarities between the silver and gold with the skinned face there and the skinned face here, and the silver and gold and the weapons in the bottom right. But overall, guys, that is Super Electro Soldier. Super fun piece. Again, really unique amongst all my art, and I really just love how this one looks, especially with the weapons and how I illustrated his body in this composition. If you want prints of this piece, linked in the description down below is my art links. You'll find my in-print store. You can get this print and many others I've created in many different sizes. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Leave a comment down below what your favorite aspect of this piece was. Also linked in the description down below is my gaming channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers over there, so if you want to go check that out, that's also in the description down below. Videos every week, if not 2 weeks, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.